So did you know that most of the emotions that you just feel because you felt them before. They're not new, they're repetitions. Like somebody always makes you angry in the same way. If you've ever been married or in a relationship for a long time, you know when you're about to get angry. You can feel it coming because you've trained your muscles, you've trained your face, you've trained your brain, you've trained your emotions to all react in a certain way. There's a certain outcome that's almost guaranteed if something happens. So when this person forgets to take out the trash, you always go, every time you go, and you get frustrated. Or you judge somebody every time they make a certain mistake, or they say something that you disagree with, and it boils your blood, it makes you upset. This is because we've conditioned ourselves over repetition. Repetition is super powerful, okay? And we do it unconsciously most of the time. The vast majority of our life is unconscious. We're just reacting to our environment. And the way that we've conditioned ourselves through repetition is a combination of how we're wired, like the type of personality we're more inclined towards, whether we're a more passive person, a more hot-tempered person, but also because of our environment, how we grew up and the role models that we saw, how our parents interacted, how our friends treated us, whether we were accepted or rejected in society. And so we form these conclusions, these foregone conclusions, and we just live the same way again and again and again and again. Basically, every day is the same, pretty much. We experience the same emotions, so we see the world in the same way. And did you know that you don't have to? Did you know that it's a choice, that we can actually change how we see the world and experience the world, like feel the world? And it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. It takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of intentionality. So one really good trick is to start your day and to decide what kind of day you want to have. Because maybe you don't know what's going to happen. Even if you do the same stuff, say you go to work in the same way, you go to the same office and speak to the same people, you don't know exactly the details of what's going to happen. If you drive to work, maybe somebody's going to cut you off. Maybe somebody's going to let you in and you won't even really acknowledge them because you're just in the same emotional state that you were yesterday. So you feel the same that you did in the car the day before. But what if you decided to have the greatest car ride in the world? You curated your car ride and you put on the music that gets you hyped up. You listen to the podcast that really gets you hyped up. Or you had silence and you just started talking to yourself. You try new things to form new neurological pathways to experience life differently. What if instead of just speaking to your spouse in the same way, you prepared before speaking to them? Not the words, but the sentiment. And say, today, I want to treat them super nice. I want to make them feel like a hero. And you did that with your friends, you did that with your kids. And everywhere you go, you're intentional about the emotional state you're in. You can do that. It's very much possible, but it starts really in the beginning of your day. So if you want to have an amazing day, you got to get up a little bit early and you got to prepare your emotional state to be curated to whatever you want. And if you don't do that, then guess what? You're going to have the exact same day you did the day before, and the day before, and the day before. And you realize that your past is just a blur of, it's a continuation of the same stuff, the same emotion. It's just like this flat line with some spikes, but then you always end up in the same place, rather than this ascent towards life getting better and better and better. So if you want life to get better and better and better every single day, then you need to prepare for something great to happen every single day. And that attunes your senses to look for the good and the possibility. You look for the good in everybody and in every circumstance, even difficult stuff. I remember very clearly when I was about 11, I was at a studio. It was like a TV studio, and people were recording this competition. It was a spaghetti eating contest, and they had enough contestants, so I was just there to watch. And then at some point, everybody was told to look one way, and I was feeling really good, and I didn't. I was looking at something else, and in that moment, they said, "Oh, we need another contestant. We're one short." And I was like, "Me?" And I went up and I ended up being on TV that day. I ended up getting a lot of prizes. It was like the most interesting day I've had in a while because I wasn't in a state of mind that everybody else was in. I was in a unique state of mind, so my antennas were sharp and I got to have a new opportunity. That could be every day. Every day could be exciting. Even the difficult days. If you have your antennas up, you can see the meaning in the struggle. So if that sounds like fun, if you want to have a day where it's endless possibilities and you don't even know what's going to happen next, but you're just excited, that's what your day could be like. And then you start stacking day upon day upon day like that, and then life gets very interesting. Look up at the sky and understand that each cloud is different. Appreciate that this gratitude is so wonderful, and it sounds so trite, but it's so obvious and it eludes us because it's so obvious. We're looking for wealth and all these things to make us happy instead of just being happy with what we have and letting everything be a gift. If everything and everyone is a gift, even the difficult situations and the horrible seeming people, then you cannot lose. It's when you blame your environment and expect the outside world to make you happy that you cannot win. Think about that.